In the first ever installment of Sparby's Top Tweets, we got a real kicker here. Sparby was on a tear last week, ended up at a Jimmy John's by himself at probably 1 a.m. Probably what prompted this tweet, and I quote, "One of my favorite events from the weekend. Boise's mascot runs out of the tunnel pregame. The original Ripley. Get a real horse, cowards!" No less than 10 seconds later, a real horse then runs out of the pregame tunnel, and the original Ripley apparently disappears off the face of the earth. This is an absolute fucking gem, but what I want you to know, and why this is so humorous, landed about 17 likes, make it 18 now, is that it set up one of the best callbacks I've seen to date. A couple days later, he'd completely forgotten about the best part of the story and decided to make it another tweet to point back to the original, when the said horse rider asked for a photo with them. Fucking genius. And this concludes Sparby's Top Tweets.
Welcome to week 6 of the MFL. I am Landon, aka The Process, and I'm here with a new segment called Keeper? A Bag of Crackers. So let's kick it off. Number 1, Kyle Kriebel with Saquon Barkley. That right there is the former champ getting his first round picks in, just like he does. Great work. That's a K.
5 weeks into the season, and Brandon now the leader by himself. Congrats to Sheridan, Casey, and Landon, though, for the leaders for the week.
Number 2, Ron with Keenan Allen, wide receiver 27 currently. Seems like he has great potential, but right now, I'm going with Bag of Crackers.
Week 5's top starters dominated by Saved by the Bell. After a 190-point performance, could you expect less? A few free agents had some good showings this week, and Justwin maybe felt the burn of his bench points.
Number 3, Ron with Jerick McKinnon. That's a DQ right there. Injuries are never good. Thanks for the 3rd round pick, though.
And here's what the excellence consistency rankings look like after 5 weeks.
Next one is Kevin with Travis Kelce. Kriebel brothers fucking nailing it. Travis Kelce, number 1 tight end. That's a keeper.
San Diego boys finally saw some separation, with 3 teams going into the week 3-1 are now 3-2 for 2 of them. And Brad by himself in second place, with Casey still undefeated at the top.
And then Sparbs comes in with Royce Freeman, running back number 27. His backup's doing better than him. That's a fucking bag of crackers right there.
Cuddy Belcow may have disappeared from the group chat, but he's certainly still at the top of the rest of the country division, while Sheridan's the only other team above 500, and the rest of us struggling to get to the break-even point.
Landon Christopher. Getting that Stephon Diggs, baby. Number 6 wide receiver. That's a keeper right there.
Some shakeup here in the power rankings, with 9 out of 12 teams seeing a new ranking this week. Still the only major disparity being the Mix and Substances, who are ranked 3rd in the league but 9th in the actual power rankings. New this week is our aggregate ranking, which shows your average ranking between your league rank, your power rank, and your manager rank. The Chalupa Batman taking the top spot, with the rich homie Saquon and Blitz All Night not far behind.
Casey with Doug Baldwin, which the legs were not included. Doing terribly right now. I can't even say bag of crackers. How about a fucking ugly banana?
Our first matchup of the week is the reigning champ versus reigning last place, who have both started the season 2-3. Landon relying heavily on the Vikings and Eagles offenses, while the K-Mish tries to outscore his 190-point performance from last week. I'm hoping for 200. And while the league doesn't vote on total points, only Landon voted in favor of himself. But the last time that happened, Saved by the Bell went down to the Cuddy Belcow.
Next up, Brad. Okay. Brad deciding to go with Demaryius Thomas, who's currently wide receiver 31. Not really a big fan of that move. I'm going to give you the bag of crackers.
If there's any week you want to play the undefeated Chalupa Batman, it's this week with the Saints on a bye. Filling in for Chalupa is one of the Colts' 3 running backs, and Andy Dalton. While TD in Your Mouth is starting his 9th different starting lineup of the year, I'm not even sure that's possible. The league's just as confused as I am here, and the vote is split 6-6.
And then Sheridan's up, Brandon Cooks. I like it. It's close, but not in the top 20. I'm going to have to give you a bag of crackers.
Dino's team wasted no time in sending guys to the IR this season. And while things are looking bleak for you, Brandon did just come off the worst scoring performance of the season. The projections here heavily favor the Crying Jordans, but this might be the week for Dino to have faith in his team. But he doesn't, and neither does anybody else in the league.
Will with Alex Collins. Dude is a beast. Doesn't score much, but he's a beast. Crackers.
Brad continues to cast a spell over opposing teams with them seemingly not being able to score points against him. But nobody's hungrier for a win than Shot, because he doesn't have any. And this is the week where the projections are in your favor, as is the league, 7-5.
Also, Ryan did not have a pick in the first round, but in the second round, his first pick was Greg Olson, and we all know how that drop went down. He was a bust.
Center. Wait, Tom! What are we doing? Substituted! Umpire Jeff Rice holding up play. False start called on the Patriots. Brady very upset. That is they're all in there. No, they're all in there. No, that's not, doesn't matter. They're all in there. They're lined up. Doesn't matter, Tom. When they substitute.
Dean with Jay Ajayi. No, we're going to move on from that one.
2 3-2 squads fighting to stay in the early playoff picture. The rich homie Saquon learned to not go against Aaron Rodgers and is starting him this week. While despite a third of Blitz All Night's team going up against the Jaguars defense last week and still crushing it, the league has no faith in you this week, with only Sheridan picking himself to win.
TD with Kenyon Drake. Right now, looking like a bag of crackers. He could come back. We'll see.
And after 6 out of 12 MFLers voted for it for Game of the Week, we have the 3-2 for Netflix and Chill and the 4-1 Cuddy Belcow. For Netflix and Chill continues to be without the guy that they named their team after. But hey, 3 of your starters are from the NFC North leading Chicago Bears, so no need to panic, right? Cuddy Belcow coming off his first loss of the season, and to add insult to injury, you've got a few injuries. Devontae Freeman, who you've probably subbed out by now, he's not going to play. But none of that will stop the mad scientist from continuing to tinker his way to what he hopes is a Week 6 win. The league, however, not feeling it, with 8 of us picking for Netflix and Chill, which I'm sure Cuddy Belcow will internalize as more fuel for the fire.
Well, so that's it. Looks like we got 3 real keepers and everyone else sucks. Actually, let's give honorable mention to Sheridan. He did a good job. For Cooks, not for DJ Moore in the second round. Yeah, no. Not honorable mention for round 2. We'll do that another time, but, that was pretty ugly. I really don't want to harp on it. I mean, DJ Moore, he did what he did. You made me draft him in another league of mine. I picked him last, Mr. Irrelevant. And guess what? I was still disappointed. Yeah, but, all right. So that's it for this week. But see you next time on Keepers or DJ Moore.
Hey boys, Sheridan Scala, aka Blitz All Night, checking in here with fantasy expert advice from a non-fantasy expert. First off, first piece of advice I'd give is don't overreact. First thing I've noticed is some people are very aggressive to jump off of one week results, not playing the long game. Sometimes, just sitting back and not overreacting is the best strategy. I haven't done a lot on the waiver wires, haven't made any trades really. So far, it's been panning out for me. Second piece of advice, fantasy football can be frustrating, so you kind of got to find an out. Whether it's flying to Chicago, going to a Justin Timberlake concert, proposing to your girlfriend, playing some Madden. Well, this is mine. We're going to come hit some balls in the ground. It's volleyball night, boys. Best of luck. Check in next week.